Mars, a silent world that was never ours. This is Mars, cold, lifeless, silent. A desert of red dust stretching endlessly under a pale orange sky. The wind here doesn't howl. It whispers, barely. A place so still, so remote, that even sound seems reluctant to stay. Mars, our neighbor. A planet we've studied, dreamed of, and romanticized for over a century. We've sent orbiters, landers, and rovers. We've mapped its surface, scanned its atmosphere, and searched for signs of life beneath its soil. And now, more than ever, we're asking a question that sounds less like science fiction and more like planning. Can we live here? Could humanity's future be written on this frozen world? Can we build cities under alien skies? Can we make Mars our second home? At first glance, the dream seems within reach. Mars is the most Earth-like planet in our solar system. It has polar ice caps, day-night cycles similar to ours, and even seasons. But peel back the surface, both literally and figuratively, and the reality becomes much, much harsher. Mars is not Earth, not even close. The first and most obvious challenge is the atmosphere, or rather, the lack of one. Mars's atmosphere is paper thin, less than 1% the density of Earth's, and it's composed mostly of carbon dioxide. There's almost no oxygen to breathe, no pressure to keep our blood from boiling. Step outside without a pressurized suit, and you're dead in seconds. And then, there's the cold. The average temperature on Mars is around minus 60 degrees Celsius. At night, it can plummet below minus 100. Even during the day, near the equator, the warmth barely scratches freezing. There's no stable warmth here, no safe place to stand. And what about water? Yes, we found signs of it. Ice in the soil, frozen lakes under the poles, occasional salty trickles on steep slopes. But usable, accessible, drinkable water? That's another story. On Mars, even finding water becomes a survival mission in itself. Then comes radiation. Earth is protected by a thick atmosphere and a magnetic field, a double shield against cosmic rays and solar storms. Mars has neither. Its magnetic field collapsed billions of years ago. Without it, deadly radiation constantly bombards the surface. Any human living here would be exposed to levels of radiation far beyond safe limits. Months on the surface could dramatically increase the risk of cancer. Years could be fatal. What about shelter? We could build habitats, of course. Underground bunkers, pressurized domes. But imagine living your entire life inside a glorified cave. No walking freely outside, no open air, no rain, no trees. Just steel walls, recycled air, and artificial lights. Every step outside a life or death calculation. And let's talk about gravity. Mars has only 38% of Earth's gravity. That might sound fun until you realize what it does to your bones, your muscles, your heart. Long-term exposure to low gravity can lead to muscle atrophy, bone loss, cardiovascular strain. Even if we survive, our bodies would slowly unravel. In communication, any signal between Earth and Mars takes anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes, one way. There is no real-time conversation. No live support. If something goes wrong, and it will, help is far, far away. Mars is not just another continent waiting to be explored. It is a different world. Hostile, inhospitable, and indifferent to our presence. And yet, we persist. We build mock habitats in deserts. We train astronauts in Arctic tunnels. We launch rockets and test life support systems. All in pursuit of a dream, to put footprints in Martian soil, to say we were here. But should we? Is this really our next home? Or are we chasing a fantasy, one born not out of hope, but desperation? We look to Mars as a second chance, a backup plan, a fresh start. But Mars doesn't care. Mars will not accommodate us. It will not bend to our will. If we go there, we must change ourselves, not the planet. And even then, we might not belong. This is the red planet. It is beautiful, harsh, unforgiving. And as we dream of cities on Mars, we must first face the truth. It was never meant for us. Mars, what it would take to live there. What would it actually take for us to live on Mars? Let's forget the dreams for a moment. Let's get practical. Because building a colony on Mars isn't just about landing there, it's about staying. And staying alive. To begin with, we would need shelter, not tents, not trailers. We're talking about pressurized habitats, strong enough to hold in breathable air, block radiation, and regulate temperature swings of over 100 degrees in a single day. These structures would likely need to be built underground or heavily shielded with Martian soil. Every brick, every bolt planned in advance. Failure is not just expensive, it's fatal. Then there's air. Mars doesn't give us breathable air. We'd have to generate oxygen ourselves, likely using electrolysis or chemical converters from the planet's CO2-rich atmosphere. But that means energy, a lot of it. Which brings us to power. Solar panels could work until a dust storm rolls in. And on Mars, dust storms can last for weeks, sometimes months, blocking out the sun, covering panels, rendering systems useless. Nuclear power might be more reliable, but hauling reactors across space is no small task. We'd need food. Not freeze-dried rations shipped from Earth, but real, sustainable agriculture. Crops grown in pressurized greenhouses using recycled water, artificial lighting, and hydroponic systems. And even then, what happens when a crop fails? When equipment breaks, when something goes wrong? Then there's water. We'd need to mine ice from beneath the soil, melt it, filter it, recycle every single drop. Showers, toilets, drinking, cooking, all running on tight loops. Every leak becomes a life-threatening emergency. And what about our health? Doctors? Hospitals? No. Just what we bring. Broken bones, infections, disease. All must be treated with limited tools and even more limited medicine. The nearest emergency room is over 50 million kilometers away. And then comes the hardest part, the human mind. Mars is empty, beautiful, yes, but isolating. Months of confinement. No wind in your hair, no trees, no birds, no sky you can touch. Just red rock, silence, and the mechanical hum of life support systems. People need connection, community, purpose. We need more than survival. We need meaning. We would face boredom, depression, conflict, 1,000 psychological factors we've only begun to understand. Studies on Earth, from Antarctic bases to submarine crews, show how fragile group dynamics can become under stress. Now imagine that, but on Mars. No exit, no resupply, no rescue. These aren't small challenges. They are, in many ways, overwhelming. And yet the question persists. Should we do it anyway? Should we go to Mars not because it's easy, but because it's hard? Because exploring is who we are? Because the alternative is stagnation? Perhaps. But perhaps, too, we are looking in the wrong direction. Maybe Mars isn't our second home. Maybe it's our lesson. A warning about pushing too far, too fast, about assuming the universe owes us a place. There are other worlds, other candidates, moons like Europa or Titan, planets beyond our system, exoplanets that orbit stars not unlike our own. But they are unimaginably distant, and their conditions, unknown. If we ever do find another Earth, it may not be for centuries, and even then, we may find that no other planet can give us what this one does. Oxygen-rich skies, flowing water, complex ecosystems, beauty, chaos, balance. Earth is not just where we live, it is where we were shaped, where every cell, every breath, every instinct was forged by its rhythms. Mars can't give us that. Not now. Maybe not ever. But that doesn't mean the dream is dead. Perhaps Mars is not our second home, but a test, a proving ground, a step, not a destination. We may never build cities there, but we may walk its surface, study its secrets, learn its lessons, and from those lessons, chart a wiser course forward. Because before we can terraform another planet, we must first understand how to take care of our own. So as we look to the red sky, we must also look inward. Can we build a future on Mars? Or should we first ask, can we build a future here? Thank you for watching. If this journey through Mars made you think, if it stirred something in you, we invite you to stay with us. This is 777 File, where we uncover the mysteries of science, history, and humanity, one story at a time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, leave a like to support our work, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Where do you think humanity's next step should be? Earth? Mars? Or somewhere far beyond? Let us know. And until next time, stay curious.